On the 19th of August, an armed Chinese fighter jet conducted a dangerous intercept. The plane was a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon aircraft that was patrolling Chinese islands around the Philippines. These islands are known as artificial islands. They're created, well, artificially, they're created by man. Sadly, the spy plane was intercepted. A message was sent to the spy plane basically warning them that it was dangerous. There is something that I have to say about this. Everyone's talking about World War III right now and how North Korea could be the one that we'd go to war with, right? Or Iran. It could be any of those countries in the Middle East that just naturally don't like us. Could start with a simple trigger-happy person shooting down a U.S. jet. It could even be North Korea screwing with the wrong person and then ending up starting World War III. Or it could be China. Why would we attack China, you might ask? I mean, don't we kind of rely on each other as far as economics goes? Economics doesn't matter whenever you shoot down a plane that costs probably about 5 times the amount that an average 2,000 U.S., people, employees make a day or a year. Sure, we trade a lot with China. I mean, why would we go to war with the person that we trade with the most? Most of our products are made in China. Shocker there, huh? What might shock you more is the thought that we'd actually go to war with the person we trade with the most. We don't only trade with them. We have other countries like Thailand. I'm not sure about Iran. I will tell you this. If we go to war with China, sure, America has the technology. What does China have that America doesn't, though? They have a lot of people. I mean, they're practically overpopulated, their entire country. Thanks to a few laws. 2 children. Okay. Obviously, they're placing a limit so they don't overpopulate. I mean, only a little bit overpopulated is fine, right? We just can't have it too overpopulated like it makes that much of a difference. China has manpower. We may have technology, but I mean, hell, look at World War II. Look at D-Day. The Germans had the upper hand. They had defense. They had a lot of different artillery up there. What did we have? What did we start with? We started with people running across the shores off of boats, running for their lives, trying to get across just to get to the cliff so that they wouldn't be shot at. And even then, they'd still be shot at from above, come on. From Germans trying to take them out. Once they got to the cliff just so that they could wait for reinforcements so that way they could climb back up. They could climb up that cliff. They had to scale the damn thing. I mean, yeah, shoot a rope up there, climb it. It's not that easy though, is it? No. You always have an enemy shooting at you no matter where you are. It'd be the same with China versus America. China would send a whole bunch of troops up there. I mean, America, we practically still won D-Day, right? Not just America. You still had Britain. You had the French Resistance. Thanks to old Charles de Gaulle. Oh, yeah, they cut off German communications in World War II on D-Day. That way, I mean, it took them forever to get the message to Hitler. And even then, he didn't believe that it was even happening in the first place. What makes it any different from America? Hell, I'm pretty sure we could have half the Chinese army running around our shores. We have our Navy reporting to President Obama, or any president for that matter. I don't care what party they're part of. Have them reporting to him. No, that's not possible. They couldn't have landed without getting shut down. Sorry to tell you, technology is not going to save us. If the Chinese decide to send their entire military and maybe even bring some allies along with them, I mean, we got a lot of enemies around here. America has really fucked it up for ourselves. I will tell you this. If we do go to war with China, you better prepare your families. America's not going to win a war against China. That kind of a war would be too difficult. We overran the beaches on D-Day against all the heavy artillery. What makes it any different from China? They could overrun our beaches. I mean, screw computers. Screw any sort of anti-aircraft we have up there. Screw our machine guns. Got 200, 300,000 men running across the beach all at once. 50,000 machine guns. Take out half of them. For all the families out there that, well, for all the families out there that aren't prepared for something like that think that America is almighty and just immortal, we can't possibly. How could America possibly fall? We won a war against the British. We beat them twice, if you think about it. We've won so many wars it's not even funny. We've beat the odds so many times. The Revolutionary War. We were against one of the most vicious empires out there. One of the biggest and most successful empires that had ever existed for the past, 1,000 years? They were matched at that point only by the Romans, and the Romans, they didn't even exist anymore. Around that time, if there were any Romans, it'd be kind of like a little group of neo-Nazis nowadays. Supporters that couldn't possibly create an empire that big, that massive, that strong, and with that kind of military support. They could only dream of that. The Romans, they fell for a reason. The British lost the Revolutionary War because they may have had the technology and they may have had the training, but they did not know the landscape of America. They didn't win the war because of a few words that George Washington told his men. I mean, sure, it probably cheered the men up. Otherwise, I mean, a few of them may have walked off and like, this is not going to work. No, we pushed on. As we were pushed back, we went into the woods and started hiding. We started breaking the rules of war. We would hide in the forest and we would shoot down the officers first. That way the British troops, they didn't have anyone to command them. They weren't prepared for that kind of a thing. They thought, okay, well, if everyone's going to fight by these rules, we don't really need a backup now, do we? They were wrong. America broke the rules. Germany was one of the first countries to break the rules in Europe around the 18 to 1900s. China could very easily break the rules of war these days. Rules of war these days have a lot to do with technology now, don't they? But can technology really stand up against the entire world? Or even half of the world? China has a lot of allies out there. Pretty sure North Korea and Russia wouldn't mind joining with them just to take us out once and for all. There's a lot of countries out there that would want to get rid of us. Iran, Afghanistan. I'm not sure about Afghanistan. I mean, we've been helping them out, but they might still have a few, might be ticked off a little bit at us. Prepare your families. Obviously, if China's already announcing that they will shoot down U.S. spy planes flying around, flying around their artificial islands, where it's fairly obvious that they're going to try and build some sort of military encampment there, they mean business. In fact, they even set up two things of artillery around there. Of course, they were taken down later. But just the sheer fact that they would do that shows that they're not joking. They mean business. If they're at that point, if there had been a U.S. airplane flying around and they had the artillery set up, they would have shot it down. And I would have felt bad for whoever would have been in that plane. But you know what? You can't trust countries like China. You can't trust countries like North Korea. Don't. Make sure your family's prepared in case something like that happens. Don't be like the rest. Bye.